Archaeologists have made a revolutionary discovery, what no one would believe. Every year, millions of new research and discoveries shed light on everything from the impact of climate change to the evolution of stars and more. With so much research and discoveries, it can be challenging to know what is significant and interesting, but massively something that no one could ever believe. Over a decade, we can look back on some of the essential and revolutionary discoveries ever made that are surprising and shocking. Today, we are showing you some of them. So watch the video until the end and subscribe to our channel for more such uploads. Here we begin. 2 shekel weight. An exclusively inscribed 2,700-year-old limestone, known as 2 shekel weights, are discovered in earth excavated in Jerusalem near the Western Wall. It is an example of poor craftsmanship. The weight's inscription was unfamiliar with the international symbol for such stones and in size something close enough. During the First Temple period, the coin was 23-gram round stone and was part of a precise set of recognized weights imported from Egypt, used in Israel for both worshiping and marketplace. The weight system in Egypt was based on units of 8, as opposed to the decimal system, which is based 0. During the Iron Age, the weight system was used in international trading, and its implementation in Israel indicates that the fledgling monarchy saw itself as an international player. The weight was found all in the dirt under Western Wall Heritage Foundation headquarters at Beek Strauss, directly alongside subterranean portions of the place. The weight stone was discovered in Israel, and the smooth round stone was found during wet sifting of the excavated earth from the Western Wall, and sized within the Egyptian symbol resembling the Greek gamma symbol. The symbol was used in the First Temple period to represent the shekel, and the next to the large shekel symbol, 2 parallel lines were incised, indicating a double mass value. Numerous 2 shekel weight stones were discovered, but the craftsmen were ignorant of the proper symbol of Egypt used to mark these stones. In some, the symbol is rounded, and in some, it is triangle. While the inscription is dubiously done, the weight was precise, and a single one of them was found in archaeological digs weighing around 11.5 grams. The First Temple period predated using coins, and the shekel system of weights was to indicate to marketplace vendors and their clients the worth of their items. Roman building complex. An unusual Roman building complex was unearthed in Scarsborough in North Yorkshire, and the discovery was done during a housing development. The work began in 2019 after some trial trenching revealed the remains of the Romano-British or Iron Age settlement. They discovered a multi-phase site that was abandoned during the 4th century AD. There is strong evidence that the site was used as early as the 2nd century AD, but some finds hint that this might stretch back to the Iron Age. The phrasing has not yet been determined, but there were 3 phases to the site. Earlier, the complex covered a massive area extensively condensed and remodeled over the centuries to a smaller footprint. The complex features a wide trackway into the large courtyard, and the primary building with a circular central room and 3 rectangular rooms leading off of it. Painted wall plaster and hypocast remains were all discovered, but it is unknown whether this feature was fired. The use of the complex is not known, but its design using Roman techniques. Theories also say that it could be a villa or a religious sanctuary. 14,000-year-old cave art in Spain. Rock paintings dating back to 14,000 years, and they were found in a cave in a Spanish seaside resort town. Around 50 paintings measured 60 inches and depicting bison, horses, and lions were found in the cave. Unfortunately, it was extremely difficult to access and located under the building in the center of the Laquito in the Basque country. Archaeologists and cave specialists have examined the paintings found and declared them to be the most striking and spectacular of their kind ever found. But unfortunately, the cave would not be open to the public to preserve the painting, and also, it's hard to access. Duck-billed dinosaur discovered. The big-boned toothy dinosaur was discovered in Utah and is now helping scientists recreate what ancient North America looked like around 75,000 years ago. The new species was a member of a duck-billed dinosaur and are now so because of their bony snouts, flat duck beaks, etc. Antotitan was the duck-billed dinosaur that was one of the most widespread dinosaur groups. Around 70 million years ago, these dinosaurs lived in Europe, America, and Asia. Their habitats vary from forests and river valleys to swamps and coastal floodplains. Additionally, with the duck-like beaks as well as webbed front feet, some of the fossil mummy dinosaurs have powerful jaws with numerous blunt teeth, ideal for grinding fibrous land plants. Moreover, like a shark, these dinosaurs have a conveyor belt of teeth in their mouth. It had more than 300 teeth to slice up plants and stack below in columns, hidden within the jawbone with various replacement teeth, so they might have sprouted over 800 teeth. The archaeologists said they were capable of eating any plant they desired, and no plant stood a chance in front of their robust jaws. Jaws were not the only thing about these dinosaurs, as their bones are highly massive. It was like a dinosaur on steroids, and the bones were thick not just in the skull, but in their limbs too. The species were the key player in the ecosystem of ancient North America, and they are the most common fossil discovered in the rock. They were probably from 75 million years ago. The big problem while discovering the species come from a massive jawbone and well-preserved skull unearthed by researchers in Utah in 2003. The problem was how the massive duck-billed survived alongside other giants. Why didn't they mingle even with the relatives? 2200 Lost Egyptian Temple. Archaeologists have discovered a long-lost 2200-year-old temple in Egypt belonging to Pharaoh Ptolemy IV. The ancient tomb structure was found by construction workers drilling on a sewage drain in Kamshaka and Tama Township in northern Sohag. They uncovered a north-south wall, a southwestern corner of limestone structure, an east-west wall, and more engraved with carvings of the Egyptian god Hapi of the annual flooding of the Nile. Ptolemy ruled Egypt from 221 BC to 204 BC, but was not a successful ruler. He was more interested in pursuing artistic endeavors than kingship. The texts indicate that the pharaoh built the largest human-powered ship, known as the 40, the galley, with 40 banks of oars, and was operated by 4,000 oarsmen. 50,000-year-old piece of string. Surprisingly, the world's oldest piece of string designed by Neanderthal humans from bark about 5,000 years ago has been unearthed in a rock shelter in France. Admittedly, it's a tiny fragment, 2/10 inches long. Still, the archaeologists say it shows that Neanderthals had extensive knowledge of the trees it was designed from and enough ability to make a string to hold fast under tension. The discovery analysis that it was the first time a string attributed to Neanderthals was found, and it suggests they used other technologies in ancient time that have rotted away. It also says that the stereotypical crude caveman was smarter than others. This shows they were not so different from us, and the string discovered was attached to a small stone tool found at a rock shelter in France, occupied by Neanderthals. Before this, the archaeologists thought the oldest string was found in Israel, made by early humans, Homo sapiens, around 19,000 years ago. 200 skeletons. Earlier, over 200 skeletons were discovered in the mass grave beneath a supermarket in France. This discovery made the archaeologists wonder how they died and why the bodies were there. The skeletons were women, men, and children, aligned head to toe and buried up to 6 people deep. The cemetery moved to another location when new buildings were built over the site, but many were left behind. They discovered bodies in 8 different pits. The first 7 comprised the remains of 5 to 20 individuals, but the 8th pit had 150 skeletons and more laid in 2 rows. How people died and when is unknown, but the existence points to a major loss of life. This somehow depicts a major morality crisis, and that was due to a famine, epidemic, or extreme fever. Recently, numerous mammoth skeletons were discovered at the airport construction site in Mexico, with a large number to be excavated. Archaeologists hope that the site has become the mammoth central. The shores of the lake bed that both trapped and attracted the mammoth in the marshy soil will somehow solve the question of their extinction. Experts said that the discovery is being made at the site, and there were signs that humans might have made the tools from the bones of the lumbering animals that died around 10,000 to 20,000 years ago. Many mammals were discovered, including 5 horses, 25 camels, and more. Experts also believe that humans might have carved their remains if they were dead by striking them within the mud of an ancient lake bed. Let us know your views in the comments below.